welcome back to Liberal Crime Squad. When we last left off, we were looking at how Jasmine Wolf, and I press 1 here, and you can see that she has 5 recruits out of 6 max, and I was worried that this would be too full, and I said that we were going to look at maybe getting rid of some of these new sweatshop workers that we got, all these naked sweatshop workers. But in a wave of liberal compassion, I've decided to make them useful instead of getting rid of them, because you see, once you've liberated these people from working in the sweatshop, where do they go when you get rid of them? The answer? Well, often it means handing them a gun and telling them to shoot up the police station, which is not going to work out very well. So I've been persuaded by kindness to put them to work. Wait, put them to work? Wasn't that what they were doing before? Yeah, but now they're working for liberalism, you see. So let's hope that life is better for them. And we can start by giving them some clothes, yes. So I'm going to go down to A, activate liberals. Now I'm going to select C, Pam, because she is the first of these. And I'm going to go to D, make repair clothing. And I'm going to go to 1, make clothing. This is the menu that you saw for the other character in the previous one, which we tried to make this security uniform. But for the previous character, it was extremely difficult for that character to make a security uniform. But for Pam, it's just average. That's okay. I'm not worried about that. I just want Pam to have some clothes. In fact, since we're putting her to work, let's give her some work clothes. We're going to have Gary, that's D, do the same thing. D, make repair clothing, 1, make clothing, and work clothes, C. Now, Gary is not actually as good at making clothing as Pam is, so it's going to be a little bit harder, but I'm not too worried if the quality suffers. E, Rosalie, and D, make repair clothing, 1, make clothing, and I'm going to set her to work clothes. Now, she's particularly good, so it's very easy for her. She's no doubt going to make very good quality. F, Phoebe, and we're going to have D, make 1, make clothing, and she's going to also make some work clothes. Now, the thing to note is, so far, I've always been having the liberal who's going to wear the clothes make the clothes. You don't have to do that. It just goes into an inventory. You can equip it to anybody. But it seems appropriate now. All I have to do is wait 1 day. And so Pam makes first-rate work clothes. Good. Gary makes first-rate work clothes. Rosalie makes first-rate. And Phoebe makes second-rate. Well, I'll have to make sure that I give Phoebe the second-rate. It's only fair. So right now, they're still set to keep making work clothes. So I'm going to hit Z, assign simple tasks in bulk. And we're going to have them all do some community service, 6. We're going to go C, D, E, F. And now why would I have them do community service per se, as opposed to something else like fundraising? Here's the thing. If I go into 3, and I go into the big sheet for this character, choose -16. This is going to be like their experience score, their street credibility, how respectable they are, how courageous they are. They've been beaten down by the man for a long time now, so they have negative juice. That means all their stats are very low. Community service will help to restore their reputation back up to just 0, which will give them the next level. That'll promote them from society's dregs back up to civilian, and their stats will take a nice boost. So instead of having 4 be the maximum, it might shoot up to like 8 to 10 is the maximum. That's going to be good. So I only have to do that for a few days, but in the meantime, I want to equip, and I want to say, okay, B is the normal work clothes, C is the work clothes that are second rate. So I'm going to say B, and I'm going to say 3 for Pam, 4 for Gary, 5 for Rosalie, and then now B again, because now it's been moved up to second rate work clothes, and 6 for Phoebe. So now they all have work clothes. That's nice. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually remove these people from the squad, because they don't need to go with me on every little squad adventure that I go on. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to Review Assets and Form Squads, and I'm going to select A, Liberal Crime Squad, and then I'm going to select C, D, E, and F. C, D, E, and F. That removes all these people from the squad. So I say enter, the squad is ready. Now they're not in the squads, but I can still activate them from the Activate Liberals menu. So that's good. Now, I'm going to look at my money and I'm going to say, well, I've got $1,000. That's pretty good. Maybe I should buy something. Here's the thing to keep in mind. If I hit F, go forth, and I hit A, downtown, A professional thief starting character starts in these downtown apartments. Mackenzie Apartments is what they're named now. They might be named something different, but the key is that they're in downtown. This is a nice upper-class kind of location. Problem is, they're going to charge you about $1,200 a month for rent. Otherwise, they'll boot you out. Now, that may seem like, okay, so I've been booted out of these apartments. Well, where do I go? The answer is I come all the way down to the Industrial District, D. There's a homeless shelter that you'll get kicked back to. And these are all safe houses, so you can all stay here. The homeless shelter, however, has a secrecy of 30%, similar to this old building site and this old cement factory, which you can also stay in. Secrecy of 30% means that if you start committing crimes, which start attracting police suspicion, they're going to have an easier time finding you there if you're just stashed in the homeless shelter than if you're nice in some nice upper-class apartment building downtown where they're not going to be the first place they're going to look. Normally, secrecy would actually be very high for these people, but I have 6 people staying in that apartment building, and that's going to actually take down the secrecy a fair amount. This heat score here is going to be the record which shows how much attention you've received from the police. If you have a lot of criminals who are wanted for some very bad things, you'll see heat start to increase on your safe houses. Once it exceeds 100%, you may wish to consider abandoning the safe house temporarily, because what will happen is the police will start preparing a raid on that location. And when SWAT teams show up, you pretty much have 2 options. You got 2 options. You can either surrender to them and get hauled off to the police station, everybody with a criminal record in that safe house. Or 2, you can try and say, let's try and fight them off, but a bunch of SWAT teams, they're not going to treat you very nice. So unless you have a particularly good combat squad, you might be in trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to take this squad and I'm going to move them and, okay, actually I'm going to let them stay in this apartment for now since I have no heat. We haven't done a whole lot really illegal. We're not really being searched for. Yeah, we tried to beat up on a security guard. We liberated some sweatshop workers, and we broke some equipment, but we're still not going to be too worried about it just yet. But this money, I can buy some guns, but I also need to start looking at how I'm going to make money. So I'm going to go ahead and just get some weapons for these characters. And that's because when we fought that security guard, we had 6 people against 1, and we ran away because he had a gun. So we're going to get guns for ourselves. Now, yes, our liberals are pro-gun control, going to the commercial center, but it's all about what you use it for, And sometimes you've got to be the bad guy and get some guns if that's what it takes to change the world, or so our characters think, anyway. So I'm going to go to G, buy a liberal gun, and actually note that I can go 1-1 and look at this character's sheet. This is Jasmine Wolf, the hero, or the founder. I can look down, is she good with any guns? She's good with a shotgun. She has 2 skill in shotgun and a very high max for shotgun skill. But shotguns are kind of big. They can't be concealed under a security uniform, and a security guard who just kind of cruises through town carrying a shotgun, it might not be super suspicious, but it's going to look weird. So I might not want to give her a shotgun. I might want to give her a handgun that can be easily concealed. I can look at Lena Stiver. Look at her. She's pretty good with a knife, but I'm thinking I really want to give her a gun, and she has no gun skills. So I'm just going to go ahead and get them some 9mm. And so I hit B to choose buyer, and then I pick the character by number that I want to give the gun to. And then I press N to buy a semi-automatic. I pick 2 for Lena Stiver, and I pick semi-automatic again. Now, you'll notice these XX, that means they don't have any ammo, so I have to back out, press C for liberal clips, use the 9mm pistol magazines, press B to choose buyer. I can buy up to 9 that'll equip to the character anymore, and it'll go to their party inventory. And I'm actually out of money after 6. So I'm out of time, so that's going to cut that off. But we're going to pick up next, and I'm looking at how to make some money back, because $1, not going to cut it.